Did you know that in 2024, the world experienced over 400 major natural disasters? Earthquakes, floods, fires and storms that left millions displaced and caused billions of dollars in damage. That's more than double the average from just 10 years ago. Meanwhile, global political tensions are rising, economies are teetering on the edge, and bizarre celestial events are making headlines. To many, it seems like chaos. But to those familiar with biblical prophecy, especially the book of Revelation, these signs may be more than just coincidence. Could it be that Revelation's prophecies are not just metaphors or ancient poetry, but a roadmap for what's happening now? And what's still to come in 2025? Let's dive in. The book of Revelation, perhaps the most mysterious, controversial and debated book of the entire Bible. Written by the Apostle John, while exiled on the island of Patmos, it contains visions, symbols and predictions that have captivated believers and skeptics alike for nearly 2 millennia. Dragons, beasts, angels, plagues, fire from heaven and a coming judgment. For centuries, theologians have tried to interpret these visions, while others dismiss them as imaginative fiction. But today, in the year 2025, many are starting to reconsider. Because more and more, the events described in Revelation seem to be playing out in real time. From wars and rumors of wars to strange weather patterns and global systems of control, what was once considered far-fetched is now appearing in our headlines, our politics, our technology, even in the way we buy and sell. So the big question we're asking today is, are the shocking prophecies of Revelation coming true in 2025? Now let's be honest. The idea that an ancient book could predict modern events sounds crazy to a lot of people. Prophecies have often been dismissed as vague, self-fulfilling, or just the product of imagination. Many believe these ancient texts are symbolic at best, never meant to be taken literally. And to be fair, people have been claiming the end is near for centuries. Remember Y2K or the Mayan calendar prophecy for 2012? Both caused widespread panic and neither came to pass. So, skepticism is understandable. But here's the difference. Those were speculative dates chosen by human interpretation. The prophecies in Revelation, on the other hand, don't assign a specific year. They describe conditions. They outline a sequence of events, a spiritual timeline, and a global atmosphere. And right now, many of those conditions seem to be materializing before our very eyes. Let's explore some of the key prophecies found in the book of Revelation and how they seem to match with current global events. The first major prophecy involves 4 horsemen, each symbolizing a form of global turmoil: conquest, war, famine, and death. The white horse symbolizes conquest or deception. Many believe this represents the rise of false ideologies or controlling systems masquerading as salvation. Think about the growing influence of authoritarian governments, mass surveillance, and even certain global organizations pushing agendas under the banner of peace and sustainability. There's a lot of power being consolidated right now under the name of progress. The red horse represents war. From Ukraine to the Middle East to growing tensions between China and Taiwan, conflict is escalating across the globe. We're seeing a return to Cold War dynamics. And this time, with nuclear weapons, drones and cyber attacks in play. The black horse signifies famine and economic crisis. In Revelation 6:6, it says a day's wages will only afford a small portion of food. Sound familiar? Food prices have skyrocketed. Inflation is hitting every corner of the globe. Supply chains remain broken, and droughts, floods, and disease are devastating agriculture in key regions. The pale horse represents death. Between pandemics, wars, and rising suicide rates, it's hard not to see this one at work. One of the most debated and misunderstood parts of Revelation is the mark of the beast. Revelation 13:16-17 says, "He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, so that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark." For centuries, people have speculated what this mark could be. A tattoo, a barcode, a chip. In 2025, we are closer than ever to a system where digital identity and biometric verification are essential for accessing services. Some nations are rolling out central bank digital currencies. state-controlled digital money that could theoretically be turned off or limited based on behavior. Combine that with facial recognition, AI surveillance and health passports, and you begin to see the infrastructure of a system where participation requires compliance. We're not saying the mark is here yet, but the mechanisms, they're in place. Environmental catastrophes, Revelation 8 and 16. Revelation also speaks of the earth being struck by fire, rivers turning bitter, and the sun scorching people with intense heat. While some take this symbolically, the literal parallels are hard to ignore. Wildfires have become an annual nightmare, destroying millions of acres. Rivers are drying up from the Euphrates in the Middle East to the Colorado River in the US. The earth is getting hotter. Heat waves are breaking records every year. Revelation 16:9 says people were scorched with great heat, yet refused to repent. Isn't that what's happening? People are watching the world burn, but refuse to change their ways. War, global unity under a false system. Revelation 17. Revelation describes a beast with 10 horns and a woman riding on it, interpreted by many as a symbol of a powerful alliance of nations and a corrupt global system. Some believe this points to a future one-world government or a centralized structure combining politics, economics and even religion under one rule. In 2025, we are watching the steady rise of global partnerships. International summits, shared digital economies, unified climate agendas and global governance proposals are all pieces of that puzzle. Finally, we can't ignore the spiritual and moral aspects of prophecy. Revelation repeatedly warns of a time when people will abandon truth, embrace immorality and worship false gods. Look around. Truth has become subjective. Values that were once considered sacred are now questioned, mocked or reversed. Entertainment glorifies violence, greed and lust. Children are confused and society is divided. What Revelation described as Babylon's corruption seems eerily familiar. Now let's zoom in on one specific prophecy that many believe could climax in 2025, the rebirth of global Babylon. A system of commerce, government and spirituality that claims to unite the world but leads people away from God. Revelation 18 talks about Babylon falling in 1 hour. A great city full of wealth, pleasure and power collapses under the weight of its corruption. Could this be a warning for modern global cities built on greed and exploitation? As we enter 2025, we're seeing cracks in the global system. Economies are fragile, trust in institutions is eroding. Major cities are grappling with violence, unrest and spiritual emptiness. Could 2025 be the beginning of Babylon's fall? This isn't just about doom and gloom, it's about recognizing the signs. Revelation isn't a horror story, it's a wake-up call. Let's step back and look at the big picture. We've examined the 4 horsemen and how their signs are already here, the technological rise of a system that mirrors the mark of the beast, the intensifying natural disasters that echo biblical plagues, the rise of centralized control and global alliances that resemble prophetic beasts, and the moral decline that Revelation warned us about. Is this coincidence, or are we seeing ancient prophecy play out before our eyes? Regardless of your beliefs, these parallels are too strong to ignore. Maybe Revelation isn't predicting a single end date, but instead giving us a pattern, a spiritual diagnosis of a world drifting away from its creator. 2025 might not be the end, but it could be the turning point. So now I turn the question to you. What do you think? Are we witnessing prophecy unfold, or are these just random events that people are trying to fit into a narrative? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if this message stirred something in you, if you want to learn more about what the Bible really says about the end times faith and what comes next, check out our other videos. We go deeper into Revelation, Daniel, and other prophetic books that shed light on our current moment. Like, share and subscribe if you found this valuable. The world is changing and fast. Don't just watch the signs, understand them. See you in the next video.